How is life without having kids? It's just freedom and almost like a cheat code in terms of money. Outside of my job, I simply don't have any obligations and responsibilities, and I love it that way. And at weekends, I can sleep for as long as I want. No money issues whatsoever because I'm minimalistic, and I didn't move out because I don't need to. I have more savings than the vast majority of people my age in my country. Everyone I know who is a parent seems miserable. Imagine having an above-average wage and living paycheck to paycheck with decades worth of debt. I never want to be in that situation. Wonderful kids, at least according to figures in my home country, will cost you 15 of your spendable income for the first, another 10 for the second, etc. Given our incomes, my wife and me can now afford a very comfortable vacation every other month. By not having to children, want and whenever I want. I get to eat what I want and when I want it. My house doesn't get transformed into a complete mess during the day, and I got all the quality time with my wife I could ask for. Kids nowadays are getting in people's way as my child careers down a packed shopping street whilst refusing to step on the red color paving stones and flails their arms wildly is truly unmatched. Fucking fantastic. My fiance and I have extra money we can do whatever we want with. Key through the night. We can do whatever we want whenever we want. We get to spend quality time together without being interrupted. We get to take random trips just for the hell of it. And so much more. I wouldn't give this up for anything, especially not a snot-nosed, whiny brat. It's great as far as having far more freedom. I am 30 for almost 36. Child-free, and living at my own pace. Most of my frustrations come from relatives who try to use the excuse that I'm not doing anything to try to shove their kids off on me, or try to call me up when they can't find a babysitter. Nope, deny. I sleep when I want for as long as I want. I choose cook for one meal or make enough to last me a week. I can make plans without worrying about who's going to watch the kids. And being child-free means my living expenses are far less. Feel sorry for all the self-absorbed people here, most than the 30. All I want to say is that no matter how much you love your life, and how deadly you think you are, there is nothing better in the whole world than hearing your own little love saying, "I love you, Daddy." I'll take all the down votes coming to me, but literally don't give a shit. On your deathbed, who will be there for you? If you can't have kids, I get that. But choosing not to and pumping up your own tires because you chose that life, it's the saddest flex ever. I loved life when I didn't have kids. I loved it, the independence and freedom to do anything on a whim. The opportunity to develop oneself. Now 10 years later with 2 kids, I think I love life even more. It's just a different chapter. I have a little team to go out and take on the world, play sports all the time and travel a lot. We are now moving to our 3rd country as a family, China, UK, now Sri Lanka. I do miss not being able to head out on a Saturday morning and not need to come home until the following Sunday evening. I have money. I have time. I have regular and interrupted sleeps. Paid for real estate into countries. I have a healthy sex life. I own plenty of wine and Riedel glassware. I have a fun car, 2013 C6 3S. Been OS for times this year. I don't even have a job right now. I live for minutes walk from the beach. I have a nice collection of PS10 first edition Pokémon cards and Charles Billick originals. Nothing gets broken in my house randomly. I guarantee I would have none of this if I had a pet sperm. I can honestly say I would probably be quite wealthy if I did not have a kid. I do damn well for myself with 1 kid, but if I didn't have that expense, I could quite literally do whatever I wanted. That said, nothing has brought me half so much joy as being a father. To have another little human grow and develop in front of me has been the greatest experience I've ever had. I've never known love like I have for my son. Good on you guys without though. If you're happy, I'm happy for you. When you hit 40, your outlook on life changes. You've done all the partying, clubbing and stuff already, and you want something S when the thought of kid S comes in. That first smile at you really melts you and gives you a sense of protector and provider that you never had before. Trying to explain being a parent to a non-parent is like trying to explain what sex is like to a virgin. You think you have a good idea what it's like, but until you do it, you'll never really know. Mid-30s, and still confident in my decision to not have children. Starting to meet a lot of older couples who didn't have them either. Seeing how they approach life has really helped lift me up whenever I have those minor to moderate feelings of missing out on that part of the human experience. Let me tell you, the people and couples that I meet who are child-free tend to have extremely open and connected lives filled with friends, loved one, travel, and hobbies. It's inspiring. Would love to hear from someone in their 70s, or 80s how they feel about not having had kids. Right now, late 30s, I am very happy without kids and love the freedom. I've never felt the urge to have kids, but I am wondering if our lines get to a point in life at 70 or so, when I wish I had kids, grandkids. I would probably be happiest if I had nieces and nephews and a tribe through them. But I wonder, our families are small and there's only one child right now, and unlikely to be more. I feel like if you don't have kids, you're gonna be lonely for the rest of your life. Every woman wants kids at some point because they want someone to look after them when they're old and can barely walk. People have kids because they want to continue their bloodline, while others have kids purely because they want to flex, that's my son, or that's my daughter. People have kids to have a purpose in life. People who can't have kids by sexual intercourse have them by IVF, etc. Mine's about to turn 4. He's been getting up in the night for the last 2-ish months and awake at like 5-6 a.m. It used to be 8 a.m. I work full-time and I'm constantly exhausted. Also, the being constantly sick for the last year and I had a cough that finally stopped late March of this year and began at the beginning of February last year. I'm told it gets better. I look forward to when he's like 7-8 or so, then we can do more stuff, and I can sleep in a bit. 40 with no kids here. I chose not to have them. Not that I don't like them. I do. But I figured earlier in my life that my life would be better and easier if I wasn't a parent. My husband and I travel often. We're doing better financially than our friends who have similar income as us. I have kids. Also no extra responsibilities or strains in our relationship. I haven't felt or said, wow, I wish I was a parent now up to now. So can't complain, lol. Freedom to a certain extent. I wanted children, but then could not have them. Now that I have accepted it, I can do what I want without having to consider children and those needs. I can put myself first, without having to get a babysitter, run around the house naked, curse without putting money in a jar, eat what I want and not cook several meals to be sure the kids eat right, stay up late and make too many things. Count your blessings. Life is wonderful at 42 years old and no children. Although I am an elementary teacher, so I get to be around children often and they keep me young. I must admit though, I'm not able to have children and my wife, and I want the child. Maybe one day we'll find a medical intervention as science progresses. For now I'm relaxing, reading, and petting my cats while listening to light jazz music. And the eyes and tell them I love them, and I allowed them to come into a dying world that would likely cause them nothing but pain. God forbid any of them, even a little bit weird in any way at all. So I'm pretty happy having avoided having them. I'm pretty angry I have to be so diligent about it. BC, I would rather cut my own genitals off than give another body to this abattoir world. F43. Well, I don't know the other options, so can't really compare. And I'm happy with my life, and don't feel like I am missing anything. I've just never wanted children. It's not about money, or free time, or traveling, or whatever. I have a cat and a husband, and this is our family, and we are happy as it is. I'm sure if I had wanted children, I would then prefer that life. But I don't and never did. It's the best. You have freedom to do what you like. Not tied to people or places or jobs all things because you have an obligation to kids or to work certain jobs for certain perks or salary to make sure you can afford kids plus the rest of your life. It's so liberating. Neither my husband nor I ever felt like we wanted kids, and thankfully we've achieved so much more without them. We had our kids at 34 and 36. Had never planned it, and truth be told it was an intense time while they were growing up. Now seeing them at 18 and 20 living their own lives is an amazing feeling. It creates a strong bond and gives a good feeling. Cannot imagine life without them. We did travel before the kids all over the world and enjoyed the freedom, but absolutely no regrets. While it does give me freedom to spontaneously live my life and go where I want and do what I want within my small budget, I've always wanted to be a mum. So, not having kids still gives me a little pang of sadness whenever I think about it, and the different life I could have had I made different choices when I was 24. Basically, I try not to think about it, row around and bucket loads of heartache. But I have never regretted my decision for one moment because I know that had we had children, there's no way we could have saved as many animals as we have.